So, what is torque? Torque is a force that tends to produce rotation, and the line about which the object rotates is called the axis of rotation. And just like force, which causes an object to have linear acceleration, torque causes the object to have angular acceleration. So, torque basically just rotates an object. And just like force, torque is a vector quantity, which means it is not only going to have a magnitude but also direction. So let's have a look at a diagram. So this is that same rectangular rod which we have been considering. And let's say the left end of this rod is hinged. So this particular black dot cannot move. So we had earlier seen if you have an object which is hinged at a point and the force is not acting through the center of mass, then it only rotates like you can see here. But in which direction this object is moving, it is going to go in the anti-clockwise direction, and that will be the direction of torque. So in this particular situation, the torque direction is anti-clockwise. Let's consider the second example. It is the same rod which is hinged on the left hand, but the force is acting through the rightmost end. Of course, in this case, it is going to rotate, but the rotation is clockwise. And in this case, we can say the direction of torque will be clockwise. Now let's consider the third example. So it's the same rod, the force is acting at this point, as you can see here. The rod is hinged at the left end, so it is definitely going to rotate. But what will be the direction of rotation? So have a look. I have presented a particular line. This is called the axis of rotation. So this particular rod is going to rotate about this red line. Now, remember carefully, the direction of torque is either clockwise or anti-clockwise depending on your point of view. What do I mean by that? Just visualize this object is rotating, and let's say there is a person which is looking at this rotational motion from the topmost point. So the direction of torque or the direction of movement of this object is actually anti-clockwise if the person is viewing from the top. And now, if that same person watches this motion from the bottom, then he will observe the clockwise motion. And see, this is the tricky part. So, direction of torque is either clockwise or anti clockwise, depending on your point of view. This is indeed a tricky concept. So, let me give you a very easy explanation how to observe this in real effect. So, what you can do, consider this as a simple science task. So, what we can do is take another person, let's say your friend of yours, and ask him or her to just stand in front of you. So basically, there are two people standing in front of one another. So, what you should do is draw a circle, create a circle with your own hand in front of your friend, and try to observe the rotation. Is it clockwise or anti clockwise? So, let's say you observe that the circle which you have created is going in a clockwise fashion, and keep doing it, keep creating the circle, and then ask the friend in front of you, all right, friend, what is the direction which you are able to see? You will be surprised to know that the friend in front of you will report that the direction is anti-clockwise. So you are observing clockwise, but your friend is observing anti-clockwise. And that's why I said the direction of torque is either clockwise or anti-clockwise, depending on the point of view.